Maybe if my thing will unmute. Hello, you guys. Kelly Jo Campbell Dickman here. And I want to hear your guys' wins for the week. So go ahead and either unmute or drop it in the chat real quick and let's shout yourself out, shout your team out, like what good things are happening.
I just got my 6th
Yeah! Super exciting.
Shelly has her 6 loyal customers now too.
Good job, Tammy, like a boss.
I got to shout out Tara. She's brand new and she's on this call right now. I think she's at work. She and her enroller have signed 4 customers in the last few days that she's just been in. So she only needs 2 more to get her shopping spree.
Awesome. Summer and Sheree got their shopping sprees. Good job. Shopping sprees all over. Oh, Sheree's.
And can we just talk about how Merlane is 1 distributor away from being charted triple diamond?
Oh my goodness.
1 distributor away from being charted triple.
Woo-hoo.
She is busting her butt. Every day I get messages of I'm messaging 125 people. I'm getting up 40 host to post. I am doing a live. Every single day she is the workhorse and she's going to get it.
Good job. Stacy got 2 LCs. Chris needs 1 more LC. Medina got her shopping spree.
Tammy got a distributor today. Magina she got her shopping spree, and Christine promoted to executive because she's almost Ruby. She'll probably be Ruby tomorrow.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. All right. If anybody has anything else, just drop it in the chat so we can read through it. I want to talk about a few announcements before we have our special guest on tonight, who our special guest, if you guys don't know, is Rachel Jones. She is legit the person that invented the way that we do host to post now. It was her idea. And you guys, I want us to thank her so much because how many customers, just put your hand up real quick if you've signed a customer because of host to post. That is legit because Rachel Jones shared something and she's not on our team. She shared it with the whole company and gave all of her goods, and we have all benefited from that work. So she's amazing, and I cannot wait to hear what she has to say. But a few other shout outs this week, if you guys don't know, on Saturday is spring training, which spring training is it's going to be kind of if you guys have heard us talk about conference or any sort of events ever, that's what it is. It's an event that's going to go from 11 p.m. Central Time to 11 a.m. Central Eastern Time. I can't remember the time. I'm not going to say the times right now until I look. I will look in just a second. The times. It's happening on Saturday, okay? And it's going to be basically like a mini little training for us. And we're going to get 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I thought it was only until 1. Oh, right. We're all sorts of confused. Who knows when it is? Tamika's putting it in the chat though, and it is in the pack page on the times. I didn't write that down on my notes. I wrote spring training, but I didn't write the times for my notes. I should have clearly. So Tamika just put the notes or the times in the chat. So it's a little training where you guys are going to get so many takeaways. Okay. And if we could all be in person right now, we would be going to some event. But right now, due to COVID, they're doing these virtual trainings. And you guys, any job that you're a part of right now, they're doing virtual trainings. And every time you attend, you are going to learn something. And people are going to be sharing. They're going to be sharing new ideas. They're going to be sharing their stories. And it can be the thing that can inspire you and give you the fire that you need to crush this month and take that all the way through the summer. Okay. These events literally will change your business. So you need to make a plan right now to attend if you haven't made a plan already. Okay. It's Saturday. It's just a few hours out of your Saturday. So make a plan. There is a team meeting in Utah. And if you want information on that, you can contact Tamika and she will get you the information on the Utah people. There is a team in South Carolina. If you want info on that, you can message Merlane and she will give you the deets. Springville, Utah, thank you. And then in Thermopolis, Wyoming, they're meeting up as well. And so if you want info on that, you can talk to Mandy. I am going to be streaming it live on Zoom. So I'm going to stream the whole thing for free right on Zoom. You guys are welcome to watch. If you want to do your own watch party or anything like that, you can buy your ticket and you can watch it yourself anytime on Zoom. But it's so much more fun to watch it together. I'm going to be there to answer questions, we'll be there to help take notes and like clarify, like, wait, what did they just say? You know, because sometimes you miss things. So we'll all be there together online, anybody that wants to join in. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and message me and I'm happy to give you any info. Tamika has something to share.
So when I see in the chat, I wish I could make it. If you're working during this time, make sure that you purchase it. It's $15. You can go back and you can watch the recording. It's so important to be plugged in. Now, if you can be on it live and like plan your lunch break or something around that, then obviously try to do that. But like everybody needs to be plugged into this. And then they said at the end, we need to be in a purchasing, how did they say it? We need to, at the end, they're going to launch the next ticket. And anybody who buys the next ticket is going to get some perks. And I have a feeling it's going to be distributor codes. I have a feeling that whoever is ready to purchase the next training, it might be summer training. Since this is spring training, we might have summer training and we might have fall training. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking it is, but I am pretty sure it's going to be distributor codes. I don't know if it would be half off. I don't know if it'd be $20 off, but it is so important that this week you guys are all getting up minimum 5 host posts for just distributors. And if you want to do some products or some giveaway ones, put in some extras of those, but 5 distributor host posts every single day. So that way you have people to follow up with. I remember when Sherry Lenacala was on our call, she talked about every single day she messaged at least 10 people about the business. And so put that on your KPI sheet that like, just find 10 people who you think would want to make money and just invite them, whether they say yes or no, just invite them because it's a seed planted. And then if you get your ticket and we end up getting distributor discounts, then all of a sudden, hey, it's not $99 to join. It's only $59 or maybe it's only $20. They've gone all the way down to $9.99 before, $10 kits. And so we don't know, but we just need to be ready. And the tickets so far have always been $15. And so make it your goal to sell a skinny brew pack or a sleepy tea pack. So that way you have $15 that you can purchase whatever ticket they launch on Saturday. So I just wanted to add that in. And like, really, you guys, like, if you can get with people, or if you can be on Zoom, be on Zoom. Don't watch it by yourself, unless if you really, really want to, but it's just more fun when you're with friends.
Oh yeah, and like Samara said, you can normally pay with your commissions as well. So that way they'll just take it out when your commissions pays out in May. It will just come out of your commissions check. So you can do that. And we are also going to have a spring training bingo board. And so there'll be opportunities to win prizes and just have fun. And the bingo board is super cute and fun. So we'll be launching that and announcing that, and we'll just work on that during the spring training. And what I like to do is I like to watch it all together. And then sometimes there's pieces that I'll go back and watch later. And so that's why I like purchasing it myself too, because then I can go back and be like, oh, what was that they said? Or like, I want to take better notes on that. And so you always can purchase it and watch it later as well. All right. And then the next thing, this is super exciting. So anybody that is paid as Ruby or above in the month of April, so April 30th, if you are paid Ruby or above, you are going to be invited to a call with Cami Pentecost. She is doing it just for our team. It's going to be on May 2nd at 8 p.m. Central Time. So that will be our first leadership table call of May. And so put that on your calendars, make that your goal. You guys, Cami is legit fire and will change not just your business, but your life. I've hung out with her numerous times in person, and every single time I come away a different and better person. And so let her rock your world, get paid Ruby or above by the end of April, and you will be invited to that call. So Rachel is on, so we are going to get started. If you guys have any questions about any of that, you can drop it in the chat or just message your enroller, and they will answer your questions about whatever it is that you have. So Miss Rachel Jones, you guys, she is a boy mom. She is legit fire. She's a fighter. She's real. She's raw. I have loved getting to hear Rachel talk, and you guys know I did that call with Ashley Sinclair, the marriage class call, and Rachel was on that a little bit too. And so it was nice to be able to connect with her on a whole nother level, and seriously amazing. And like I said before, she is the host of Post Queen, and we are so blessed to have her here. So welcome, Miss Rachel. I am going to find you here, and I'm going to make you a co-host, maybe.
Hello.
Oh no, I cannot. Tamika, you're going to have to. There we go. Okay, so Miss Rachel, tell us a little bit about your story, like before It Works to now, just short and sweet a little bit, and then we'll get into more depth and ask a few more questions after that.
Okay, cool. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I just feel so nervous. I have never done a Zoom for you guys. And I feel like you just called me the host queen, but I feel like you guys are with your boards apps and everything. We like reference your guys' team like crazy. So thank you guys for having me. It's going to be 7 years in September, and It Works found me in 2014 when I was in college. I was just starting my senior year of college. And you guys, here's the funny thing. I wasn't searching for this opportunity because I had actually tried Avon fresh out of high school. Someone just messaged me on Facebook, asked me to join Avon. I was like, sure. I was very, very, very bad at it. So I, just being 19 and young and ignorant, I was like, I'm just not a good salesperson. I would never do this ever again. And so I saw it, only one person was posting on my social media, and I was just interested in the wraps. But I was a mom on food stamps. I was in college. I was waitressing, and it just wasn't enough. And so when she told me that the wraps were $59, I was like, yeah, I'm never going to be able to become a customer. We just don't have extra money ever. And so she brought up the business side, and I ended up joining her that same day because I gave her every reason on why I would be the worst distributor. And it's like she wanted me even more. Every single objection in the book, I had it, and she wanted me. So I'm like, maybe I can make a couple $100s a month. So I joined, and at the time there was the $10,000 bonus, which I love that it's back. Go diamond in 3 months and get it. And I went diamond on the last day of the year in 2014. And that bonus is really what changed everything, because that's what like flipped the light switch on for my husband. And once he was on board, it was game over. It was just everything. Because it wasn't as if he held me back, but he was just kind of behind me like, do your thing. I don't quite believe in it, but you go. So 5 months in, we went double diamond. He went diamond, and we quit our jobs the next day. The bonuses were doubled at the time, and we believed in the company, and we were sick and tired of not raising our kid and struggling. And so we dove in all the way in 5 months in, and we've been a stay-at-home family for the last 6.5 years because of it. So, I mean, I obviously have promoted a lot in between, but that's really where it started. And then I went to ambassador a year or two ago, and now we're going presidential 2.0 this month.
Super duper exciting. I love that. I love that you were like, you had all the objections and she just kept asking you and kept combating those objections. Cause I feel like we all get those objections, and some of us just shut down and quit asking. And so what if she had stopped asking you? What if she had stopped combating them? Like, you wouldn't be here. And so that is amazing. How long did you follow her? Like, how long were you guys connected before you joined?
Okay. This is good. And I'm saying it with the kindness of my heart because she's not in this anymore. And I saw Tamika's comment. You guys, this is why it's so important. Okay, so if there was any other person, and Jade Hooper lived 40 minutes away from me, but she wasn't my friend on Facebook. So isn't that wild? I could have been on Jade's team, but it was one girl that went to high school with me. She was in a very naughty crowd in high school, and I was not her friend. We were like polar opposite in high school. Like, we were not friends. She was a naughty girl. She was the only one that was talking about It Works. So I was like forced with her because I had no one else that was doing it. If there was anyone else, I would have joined their team. So I always share that part of my story. I forgot to say it only because we live in a world now where it's probably very rare that you're the only It Works girl on someone's feed, which is why it's important to be loud, proud, and show how successful you guys are and how much you love this. Because I'm telling you, if only one other person was selling it, I would have gone that route. So we want to be the one that they choose, right? So yeah, she ended up quitting maybe like a year in, and I've just been kind of riding solo ever since.
Love that, love that, love that. And that's so true. Like, we all need to be asking, and we need to be the loudest. We need to be the person that's standing out that people are going to come to or want to join with. So I love that. So now you've obviously been super successful. I mean, you've been a stay-at-home family for a long time. And I know your youngest, like, you've stayed home with him the entire time. So that's been amazing. So what are some of those habits that you've developed to really help you be successful as the years have gone on?
Yeah, this is a good question. This is a really good question. And, I think it's important to know that, like, and this is debatable for so many people. So like, there's two different sides. I'm on one side. So if you're on the opposite side, don't hate me. But I feel the side I'm on is there are seasons in this business. I feel as a lifer, there are seasons in the business, but there's the other side of there is no such thing as season. So I wanted to make sure I said that. I think that there are seasons. And I think that based on that season of life and of It Works, you have to give yourself permission to mold into that person, right? So based on that given season. So when I had my youngest in It Works and he grew up in It Works. Like it was, first of all, my pregnancy just completely ruined my business. And that was part of my dark horse story. I don't know if you have a question based on that. I won't get into that because it might not be relevant for this Zoom. But when I had him at the end of 2016, everything from that day forward was very, very, very challenging. So part of my story with that dark horse story was I lost everything I had built. And so Zach did go back to work for 2 months, but it was so small in the grand scheme of things that I always say we've been a stay-at-home family for the whole time. But he went back to work those 2 months right after I had Eli because we were hurting really bad because I let my business go for 6 months. So when I had Eli, he was colicky, he was very challenging, everything was very hard. And then my 3-year-old was very needy and very obsessed with me. So I had 2 kids that were like needing me in 2 different ways. And then Zach was working outside of the home. And for so long, I was so obsessed with how hard my life was. And this is why I can't be successful because they're holding me back. But then I got into my head of like, I don't have the hardest It Works story. Like I'm not struggling the worst in this whole company. There are people with more kids. This is just my life right now. What am I going to do? And so for me, a portion of Eli's life, because he's about to turn 5 this year, was like waking up before the kids. Once I got him on a set schedule, and Carter was really good a sleeper, I knew that they were going to wake up at 8 a.m. For a long time, they woke up at 8 a.m. And we also just were really strict with not letting them out of their rooms. So we're really, really strict on that. But I know that is what is not going to change unless they're barfing or something. So for a long time, my success was based around that morning power hour. It was a morning 2-hour power hour, actually. We'd get up at 6 to 8. And what helped me was being the one to host the Zooms. I didn't want that responsibility, but if it's on me, I'm not going to not get up, you know? But I have a girl now that does it at 6 a.m. every morning. I'm barely ever on because I'm not the one hosting. I just snooze, right? So that was very significant for my business, the morning power hours, because my kids were home. Now, once I put them in daycare, it was so great for my business because I had the whole day. And then I knew they were coming home at 4. So I need to be really strict with my time before that because I have to be a present mom after. And so I would just recommend you finding out what is your schedule, because I know maybe not everybody on here has kids. Maybe you have babies, you can't have them in daycare. I don't know. But it's like you can make all these excuses on why you can't be successful. It's very, very time consuming to have kids. And I'm a hustler. I want to work all the time. They hold me back. But you have to know what your life is, and you have to just be okay with that for this season and work around that. And so when times were hard, sometimes I would nap with him because I was just literally I was barely making out alive, and I had to give myself grace and make up for it in other ways. But I think you guys, this is going to sound a little bit red, but it's really funny because I don't know how you guys present the opportunity, but our team really, really presents the whole, maybe It Works isn't for everyone, but It Works can mold into anybody's schedule, anyone's, because we have it all, right? Now I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I really was a full-time waitress, full-time college student, and a mom. So I didn't have the time, and now I have all the time in the world. So I know what it's like. So I believe It Works can mold into anybody's life, and that's what I present this as when I'm talking to potentials. But then we are hypocritical, and now we're in the business and we're acting like It Works can't mold into our life, and we have all these reasons on why we can't be successful, right? So I don't know, it's almost like taking a piece of your own pie and realizing we're not practicing what we're preaching. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I would just say my schedule has evolved and changed, and right now I'm in a season where my kids go to school, but I'm just not enjoying the mornings. Like I'm just not sleeping very well at night. I'm not taking care of my night routine, which makes me want to sleep until I absolutely have to get my kids up, which is 7:45 now. So I'm not doing the morning routine, which means I have to be extremely strict in the middle of the day, or my kids aren't going to see me all night, which isn't always fair to them too.
Yes, I love that. And that absolutely answers it, that it doesn't always, like your schedule when you start is not going to be your schedule forever. And I feel that too, being a full-time teacher. And I've gone through so many seasons in the past 5.5 years, and my schedule really does change. And I've gone through times where I've sacrificed my family time and I've sacrificed my friends or my life for the business. But then other times, like I've put my business, I've put my family first and still work the business, of course, but your schedule can change, and you literally can mold this into anything. Like I know that if I can do this, anybody can. And I love that you shared that, like being a full-time mom, a full-time waitress, and like you full-time student, you made it work. So, and actually, yes, one of my next questions was, what mistakes have you made along the way? Like what happened? Because nothing's perfect, right? We all make mistakes. So like what mistake stands out to you that you would want to share?
Oh, I feel like Oh my God, which one? I don't know. I've made a lot of mistakes. I think if you like are a lifer and you like want to be a good and great significant leader of leaders, you know, you're gonna fail forward. And I think that's like our greatest gift as leaders is that failing forward and being really vulnerable with that with your team. And I am very yellow, and I want my team to see all the mistakes I've made, you know, so I'm always very open with them. But some little mini mistakes that I made is in the beginning, like expecting, I was very controlling. I was always like, you know, it's so funny, like when you have a fast paced team or not even, but you're just very hands on, which I was from the get go. Going diamond in 3 months, our team kind of grew a little bit fast, but I knew everything about everyone until I couldn't physically know everything about everyone. And then they started stemming off, and I was like, you're not allowed to have chats outside of this chat. You're not allowed to be leaders without me. You know, it's like I couldn't cut the cord. That was like a huge, huge thing in the beginning. And then I've made other mistakes along the way, but a significant thing that I made a mistake on, and it's part of that dark horse story, was just, you know, it's funny how when life hits the fan, like we just are so quick to give up the one thing that brings us joy, the one thing we're good at. And I am very much obsessed with It Works, and I am very good at it, but I was really good at it to get to triple diamond. And for me, looking back at all of my like all of my promotions, and everybody on here probably has this, like we have one promotion that we're like, ooh, that was like really hard. That was really like, it still makes me a little sick to my stomach. And then we also have on the flip side, like, wow, I have this beautiful promotion that was effortless because it was meant to be. Well, my like cringe, nasty, horrible promotion was going triple on my 1.0. It was so hard and not meant to be, but I was like, I'm doing it. It's the last month of bonuses. My last diamond was dead. I knew she didn't want to do it. And I built her, and I did all of the wrong things because I wanted the title and I wanted the bonus. And it was 15 months in, and I wanted that story. And so I forced it to happen. We made a lot of money. And then at the end of every single month, I would fight with my husband, and it would be me bulldozing my team because I had a boost to maintain. It was horrible. But then that was also the time that I got pregnant with Eli. So here I am, I forced this hard promotion that I'm barely maintaining every single month. And then I am pregnant, and it's really hard. And then on top of it, my marriage we were dealing with some intense stuff. My marriage was struggling. Everything was falling apart. And that was like in April-ish of 2016. And from April until I gave birth in November, I was just not like faking it, but It Works was definitely not my first priority. I was barely hanging on. And so I just started going down and down and down. And then I didn't maintain diamond or triple. And then I didn't maintain double. And that's kind of where it led to Zach going back to work for a second and us barely paying our bills, and we're triple diamonds. What I would say out of that whole story was I gave up for too long. I mean, now looking back, I'm like, how did I take that much time off? It went so freaking fast. Here's what I would say. When life gets hard, I didn't speak up. I was hiding it all because I was the top of my leader, and I didn't have anyone above me that could just take care of me and tell me, don't stop doing It Works. And so what I would tell you is, if and when something happens in your life that kind of throws you off the track, go to somebody you trust, tell them and ask them to hold you accountable. Like, I wouldn't have necessarily wanted that, but I needed that. And I wish someone would have told me, as much time as you're taking off, you oftentimes have to duplicate and triple that time on before you see those results again, right? And so I made up my mind in the beginning of 2017, January. I was like, I'm ready, I'm back, I'm ready to go. And I didn't see it pay off until months later. And I'm just kind of like, this is annoying. Like, I'm here, I'm back. But I couldn't dismiss the fact that for 6 months, I wasn't doing anything with It Works. So I would just say, I mean, that was a mistake I made, was neglecting my business. But then too, if I could just give you any bit of advice, don't push this away, and just know you have to take time for yourself sometimes, but just realize that time is multiplying and it's tripling, and you're going to have to, there's consequences to that. And I just kind of wish someone would have told me that, because I was so naive. It was 15 months in that I was like, I'm going to be able to get back on the horse. I did it one time, I'll do it again. But sometimes, because we did it one time, sometimes it's harder to do it the second time because we're not ignorant. We know the hustle, we know all of the things. So that was, I've truly, honestly made a lot of mistakes as a leader growing, but my business hurt the most when I neglected it for that long period of time. 2016 was not the year for me.
Yes, I feel that on so many levels. And so when you were there and when you did decide, like, I want to get back on the horse, like, how did you make that decision? Because I feel like sometimes we do. I mean, sometimes we give up for a week, sometimes we give up for a day, and sometimes it is months. And you know, sometimes we do, like, I know I've gone through seasons where I lie about it. Like, I'm working, but then I look at it and it's not that I'm not working, but like, am I really working? You know, like, am I enjoying it? Am I somebody that anyone would want to be a customer or distributor with? And so how do you get back on that horse? How does that, like, what actions do you take to make that happen?
Yeah, you guys, you know, you have to, beside, I know this isn't like the beginning of the answer is not what you want to hear, but like you have to start with making the decision. But let me tell you, I know you guys know this, but I'll just say it anyways. It is so easy, especially as a leader, to talk the talk and not walk the walk, and to make the decision and then get caught up in your old ways. So I personally made the decision and I didn't look back because I was desperate. So we were making a lot of money as a triple diamond in the beginning of the year. And now at the end of the year, we're hanging on to diamond, making $3,000 a month. And our bills were like $5,000 a month. Like, we were living outside of our means. No one taught us how to do our money. Like, we were struggling. And so I was at this point where I'm like, I really like have to SHIT or get off the pot, or like, am I supposed to join another company? Like, what am I actually supposed to do? And so I was at rock bottom again, where I'm like, if I don't do, like, I need to figure it out. So you might not be there, but you have to make the decision. And so because I was at rock bottom is why I made the decision and I didn't look back. But if you're on here and you're like, oh, I'm the little boy that cried wolf. Like, for me, I'm the little boy that cried wolf with my weight loss every other week. I'm like, it's time. I'm actually going to do it this time. And I annoy myself. Do not do that with your team. I think about how annoying I am with my weight loss. I would never want my team to look at me like that, in the sense of, hey guys, we're going to do it. It's our comeback story. And then you fall off. Next month, we're going to do it again. There's a difference in doing that and being like for me, this is our third month in a row that I've said we're going prez. We've fought like heck. We're just not there yet. That's it, right? There's a difference in that. I'm not embarrassed about that. But I have like leaders on my team that are like, we're going to do it. And then 3 weeks go by and I'm like, you told your team you're going to do it. And now you're nowhere to be found because you're lazy, you know? So I made the decision. And then not everybody needs to do this, but I needed to do it for myself. I needed to apologize to my team because, like I said, no one knew about the struggles I was going through. And I didn't think they deserved to know for a long time, until I realized they weren't going to trust me, until they realized I didn't just push It Works aside for no reason. I actually had some life happen. And so I made this video. I've always had a set strong leg. She's always been great. Lachelle is that strong leg. She's always done her own thing. I've always had that side. That's great. But I needed to figure out who's left outside of her. I made a video. I put it in an email. This was 2016. And I was just like, here's the deal, guys. I love you. I messed up. Here's all the things I dealt with. I'm so sorry. I am ready though. If you'll just give me a chance. If not, tell me. I'm starting over. Want to know who's ready to. A lot of people said they weren't. They moved on. A lot of people ignored me. I had 9 or 10 people outside of that strong leg, and they were all paid as distributor. I don't know what their highest rank was. They were all paid as a distributor, that said they were ready to go. They're ready to do it. So I put them in a group chat. And I feel like the last missing piece was me telling them, because I was maintaining diamond. I had so much random dead legs to have 5,000 outside of that strong leg. I always maintained diamond. And so I feel like they saw me as diamond and they're like, she doesn't really get it though, because she's still making a lot of money. And so I felt like the last final piece was me just being like, I'm at your guys' level here. We just put all of Christmas on freaking credit cards. You might see me as a diamond. I'm not a diamond though. I'm at your level struggling with you guys. So like, let's do it again. And I took myself off that pedestal and they looked at me as I was like a distributor. A little embarrassing. Yeah, but I was just like, I was tired of faking it. And so we did it all again. I started watching YouTube videos. I started doing the things that like, I shouldn't have had to do them, but I needed to exercise those skills of leadership again. I didn't know what the heck to do. I didn't know how people were going to take me serious. What I realized is as I started getting on Zooms again and started taking notes, I started like taking things from this leader, and teaching them to my team to where I was getting my like rhythm back. And then once you start being a leader, you know, it's just more fun when you're like finding things that work and you're having those wins. And then every time I signed a customer, I put it into the chat. This was before Host to Post. So it's not like we could just do Host to Post. We had Host to Post come out in April and this was January. And so we just did all the things. I don't know what we did, but that was really significant into my business. And then we ran with it. I remember we really utilized groups. We really utilized like finding special groups that no one knew about and building relationships and being like sneaky in there in the sense of like trying to sign distributors without telling them you do network marketing. We did a lot of that, but I don't know what we did before Host Post, but Host Post came out in April, rocked our world. And I have not maintained multiple times since that point, but I've never not worked my business since getting everything I worked so hard back. So, it's just making the decision and not looking back. And you guys, if you're that lazy person, like I'm telling me with my weight loss. And if you follow me, you know I'm so freaking annoying. I'm still the same weight, but it's okay. We're gonna do this. Don't be that person for your team. They deserve more. And some of you need to apologize, and you need to like swallow that pride and just be like, I failed you guys. You know, I failed you. And if you guys will just trust me, I'm ready to work with you. But there's nothing worse than when your team doesn't want to work with you because they don't see you as someone that inspires them. And that's what had happened to me. And so I was just ready to do what it took to get it back.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And I love, like you said, like going back to YouTube videos, going back to basics, like reaching out and just figuring out what that missing piece is that you need. Okay, so now we need to hear, how did Host to Post come about? And I know you still use Host to Post. So how has that evolved and how are you still excited about it? Because we know you're like the inventor, you know, so all these years later, how are you still excited about it and using it? Because we all hear that, oh, well, Host to Post doesn't work for me. Like, yes, it does. How do you get it to work? And how do you like light that fire into your team years later?
It's like a big pressure because we know Host to Post works, but we do know that like, I mean, maybe Facebook goes through seasons, I don't know, but we know that there are certain times and you can't control it when you're like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. This specific Host to Post doesn't work. It's not that Host to Post doesn't work, it evolves, and I hate it because you have no warning until you're like, I got 15 up and there's no comments or likes and I don't know what shifted, right? So it came about in April, the month I went presidential the first time, because someone was doing a training and she only was talking about referrals on her page. She was talking about, hey, if I could post on your wall, drop a comment below. And that was all she was doing on hers. And it was still the free product. It wasn't like giveaways. And then she would go and make the post on their wall. And that was that. Didn't have unnecessarily, she did it for like her promotion month and that was it. And then we fell in love with the cleanse. And then we took it to the whole, like, we're going to go to our friends list. We're going to do this. We're going to do giveaways. We're going to do all of the things. And this is going to be absolutely crazy just by trial and error. And it blew up and we were signing all these customers. And so we started off with cleanse and we did it for like a good solid 2 years with the uncompliant picture at all the worst things before there were rules, like the picture where there's a scale and she lost 10 pounds in a day. And it was so unrealistic, but everyone was like, holy crap. And so we did that. And what was really a game changer, and we've actually gone back to it this year, is utilizing your friends list. You know, we printed it off and we're like, we're going to go through every single person's name and just cold message them. We started off by saying, hey, quick question. Hey, can you do me a favor? Hey, real quick, like that was it. And then they obviously had to message you back and then you asked for the favor. We don't do it that way anymore, but we did go back to messaging our friends list because we just don't want to only rely on giveaway. Okay, now for the whole, how do you keep the excitement? Well, sometimes I feel like because people think that like I invented it and I'm really good at it, that like I have all the answers. So my team oftentimes is like, it's really dead. And I'm like, well, usually when it's dead for you, it's dead for me. And I don't know what the heck is going on. So we just try to be aware of that. And we have a Triple Diamond coffee chat every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So we're really in tune with our leadership and like, is anything not working? Is there anything struggling? And like last week, I was like, none of my giveaway posts are working. None of the partnered up ones. Every single time someone puts it on their wall, it's crickets, which means I can't get my Host to Post up because I'm not like expanding. And we just tweaked all this wording. And then we like did random ones and it was like bust after bust after bust. Oh, this one's okay. Okay, this one's a little bit okay. And it was just trial and error because we're the leaders, right? Like you have to figure it out. I would rather me go through all these crappy Host posts and figure out what's working instead of having all my team like waste all of their time, right? And so right now we're really liking cleanse and coffee. We were killing it with gummies, but I'm like little PTSD from TFX. I have a lot of people angry, so I kind of pumped the brakes with that. But I would just say it's always evolving. And what will help you always love Host to Post is making sure your first couple every single morning is the giveaway post, not on your wall, but having, I mean, I don't know what people call it. I always call it partnered up, but usually people are confused by that. Having your friends do the partnered up giveaway, whatever, because typically those get some comments and you can play with that and babysit those posts all day long. And when I find myself struggling and being like, this sucks, I hate Host posts, this is boring, I can't even get my 10 up, it's because I got out of that rhythm, you know? And so that's kind of what I have found. But do I always like to do it? No. Did I have 19 Host posts up today and I have not signed a a customer and it doesn't even quite make sense to me. It happens. But for me, I think what has helped me and why that is like funny to me, some of you might be like, wait, that's a lot of host posts for no like reward. Well, I had to flip the switch in the sense of host to post isn't always for that instant gratification. Now, when it is, I love that when I sign 5 customers from one post. But for me, it's like, it's an open door. Just get them to accept the friend request. That's it. Just get them to accept the friend request. Then they're in my store, right? And when I kind of switched it from that, I'm like, oh, I already got the win. Now it's a matter of when they sign up as a customer. And so that sucks because, you know, we always want all those big numbers and we want to do it fast. But I think when you take that pressure off, you realize everything you're doing is setting you up for that success. You might just not see it. So I got 19 host posts up today. That's awesome. Maybe they'll all sign up on Friday. I don't know. Not up for me to decide. I got what I needed up. I just didn't see it pay off yet.
Yes, I love that. And I feel that same way. I do a lot of distributor host to post until I get my 3 distributors. I always like, that's what I really focus on. But with that, it's not always that instant gratification. And sometimes that is hard because you might even get 30 people commenting on a post, but for distributors, I feel like from host to post are a little bit harder to sign. But I know that if I can make good quality posts and keep them following me for a month or 2, they're going to join. And so it's not that instant gratification, but I'm that same way. As soon as I turn that, like flip that switch of like, if my posts are good posts, if my engagement is good for products and business, people are going to follow me and they're going to want what I have. So I love that. All right. And then, how do you stay motivated? Like, how do you keep yourself motivated? I know you have a big why right now. Like, I know you're building your dream house and everything, but even then, like, how do you stay motivated to keep going even when, you know, all the life things happen and everything?
Yeah, I think what really helped me now looking back was having that like high to low, because I know what it's like to have a lot of money and I know what it's like to like lose all of that stuff you worked out. And it's not that I'm like working out of fear now. I'm past that. For the longest time, Zach was like, we were on a budget for so long. I'm like, babe, we're making a lot of money consistently. Like, you need to move on. But he was so scared. He's like, I don't know if you're going to get weird again with the business. So that's funny. But I'm not like working out of fear, but I know in the back of my head what that felt like and what I didn't like with that. And so if you guys on here haven't had that time in the business where you're like, oh, I made 800 and now I'm making 200 and that's a big dip, think about where your life was before it works, you know? And typically we don't join because we have all the money in the world. Usually we have some type of emotional story or reason, but I think it's also just being in tune. And you guys, like, I don't know if like you and Tamika feel this way, but like sometimes I feel the longer I'm in it, the harder it is sometimes to motivate myself. Like, I'll wake up and I'm like, it's just not it today. Like, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And I think we've kind of been spoiled in a sense of having a team. And we know like, well, we do have people that sign customers, but we know we have to consistently work. I think it's just being in tune. Why doesn't it feel fun right now? Why am I struggling to get work in today? Or what is it? And sometimes it's me, I'm the problem and it's a lack of self-development, or maybe something's not working and I need to tweak it. Maybe it's my why. And you know, it's so important. I just had this talk with one of my triple diamonds. She's doing really good financially. And she had her why for so long. She was chipping away at debt. And then she got all the way, this was like 3 months ago. She was like, I have like $3,000 left in debt. And I know I'm going to do that fast, but like, that's not fun for me anymore. That's not pushing me. And I'm finding myself like, it's hard for me to work because that's not like this cool thing anymore. And so I just told her, I'm like, if you want to pause paying off debt to find something that motivates you even more. And what hers was, is she wanted to go on a family vacation, a ritzy one. So we paused that dream and we're like, okay, if that's going to get you more, having more fun to go on a family vacation, pump the brakes on that. You know, you'll take care of that $3,000. And then she had this new fire of like, now it's like you're branding yourself different. You have this different pep in your step. Like you said, Kelly, like for me, it's like, I had to publicly start talking. I was uncomfortable because I'm like, we're financially free. We've been doing really good. It's really weird to be like, this is why I need you to help me go prez. Like, I don't have that emotional part, but it is real that we'll be able to start breaking ground earlier. We physically will because of the money coming in. And so I had to just put that out there. And then now when we're meeting with our builder tomorrow. And so now it's like, I have this pressure and this excitement to work because I'm like, I need stackets, I need cabs, I need all of the things because I really want a nice house, you know? So I think it's just reevaluating your why when it doesn't feel fun, but also being in tune with yourself. Like, I don't have someone, I mean, I could go to Sidelines, I could go to Cami when it's not feeling fun, but I'm not going to go to people and be like, hey, it's not fun today. Why do you think that is? Or like, let's just talk about how much we hate actually hustling, right? I have to figure that out for myself. And so again, usually we're the problem, which is great because we can fix ourselves. I can't control the people that quit my team. I can't control all of the other people, but I can control myself. And so I think it's important to also know that you wake up every day and you have to make that decision. I don't wake up pumped to work. I just wake up being like, what's my goal for today? Well, I need to bring in a lot of volume because we have to bring in 1,500 every single day to go pres. So I need to hustle and start the pace. So it's like reevaluating your why, being in tune with yourself, and just making that decision every single day is what's going to keep you going.
Love that. Love that. Love.
Oh,
Love that. Thank you for sharing. And then is this or what?
I don't know if it's me or you.
no, I think it's Kelly Jo because everyone else is moving on my end.
Okay.
So I want to know, Rachel, what are you reading right now?
Ooh, I just started this book, Untamed. Have you read it? Okay, it's just pretty. I don't even actually know what it's about. It's like taming your or I don't know, your cheetah, something. I don't know. All my girls said that it was like one of the easiest reads. But then we're going to Florida for the summer camp. She's still frozen. We're going to Florida Wednesday. And so I actually just sent Relentless to the hotel because I'm ready to read it. And I'm really pumped for Relentless because I know Mark's been talking about it. So yes, I'll be reading both of those and I'm going to finish them this week because I'm pumped.
Yes, Relentless is on my list, and then I haven't heard of Untamed, so I wrote it down. Awesome. Okay, so if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I know Kelly Jo had her list, but I don't have it, so we'll have to wait for her to hop back on. But like when I just hear your story, you don't have blonde hair, you're not a size 2, like you get up every single day and you hustle, and like you don't compare yourself to anybody. And to hear that you went from food stamps and now you're building your own house, like if that doesn't inspire you guys, no matter where you are in your life story, like decide that you're worth more and you can have more. And I love the questions that Kelly Jo's asking because legit, you guys, it's your job to wake up every single morning and decide that you're going to do it. And it's going to take what it takes. So can we just talk real quick about events? Because we have the spring training coming up and some people have their tickets, some people haven't purchased yet, and we're streaming it together as a team so people can hop on Zoom, and there's a couple of parties. But have there been certain events or instances that have really shaped your business or just gotten you to that next level, or what? And then what's the best way that we can use this event to really help boom our business? Like what tips do you have for that?
Yeah, that's great. And you guys, so first of all, yes, actually, so it was at the end of 2016 that I had Eli. And so we were struggling financially, but I was like, I can't not go to conference in 2017. So I went to conference in 2017, like pinching pennies, like, oh, I really should not be here. I can't afford it. And that was part of what catapulted my year because you're hearing all the stories and you're feeling all the feels with conference. And I'm like, I can do this again. I can do it again. So conference was definitely great. And I understand some of you are like, well, conference isn't until the beginning of next year. I get it. But I also feel like they're tricking us as if, I don't know, they're teasing us. They're making it seem like there's going to be like a mini conference halfway through the year. I don't know, but I think we're going to hear about it this weekend. But as for this weekend, this is the closest thing we have to conference. I mean, mind you, I know it's not even comparable technically, but if you tell yourself it is, you're going to treat it like it is. And I am a yellow leader. I'm a people pleaser and I do not like to hurt feelings, but this is something where I'm like, you don't deserve my attention if you're not going to make that a priority. It's 3 hours. It's on the weekend. Mind you, some people do work. I get that. Most people don't though on the weekend. And so the fact that you're creating the space where people can stream in, it's like you have no excuse. And I think that the issue is people just don't see the importance of that. And I mean, there is just, honestly, it's such a level up to watch it as close as you can to not being in person on Zoom together than watching it 2 days later on your computer. If you have to do that, you have to do that. But you guys, I would take advantage of it. And I'm just saying, like, I've been very hard on my team and the people that aren't making their plans very loud and clear of who they're watching it with, because we have a lot of different groups. And then Chantal is doing it. The people that have been very quiet, which I'm assuming means they're not going to watch it, I've been really serious with like, why do you get to be in a runner's chat? Why do you get that if you're not going to make this a priority? So I would just say be really grateful for having that opportunity to tune in and just know that there are going to be announcements. There are going to be announcements. I wish I could give you guys a teaser. No one's even telling me anything. Sometimes I feel like before conference, we start hearing things in the grapevine. No, I got nothing. But I feel their vibes and I feel like it's going to be really good. What are we doing to prepare for it? We're just going to speak it and manifest it that there's a distributor promotion coming, because I feel like that's the trend. So why, if there was a distributor promotion coming and you knew about it, wouldn't you be talking about it and doing all of the things this week so that if it launches this weekend, we can be like, hey, guess what? And do all the follow-ups, right? So I'm going to hopefully assume and put it out there that that's going to happen. I'm going to pray that there's like volume. I don't know. I'm just talking all week long as if this is conference. Like I'm going to be like, hey, we technically are going to Florida, but I'm going a day early on Wednesday. And so every single day leading up to it, I'm treating it like conference, saying, you better watch my page because we are dropping good stuff. We're going to, and even if it ends up not being distributor kits and nothing super, super crazy, we have the vibe and the energy, you guys. And so people will want to buy into that. So I would just say, if you want to have the benefits of whatever is coming this weekend, which I'm sure it's going to be really good because it's the 4th month of the year, they're keeping it going. You have to do the homework, and that's this week. It's setting up plans. Honestly, you guys, if I wasn't in person like last year's spring trainings, I never had the kids home. I was always here watching it by myself, and the kids were gone because I was like, listen, you can't bother me. It's 4 hours and I'm in here on Zoom with my team watching it. I'm going to treat it like it's an event. So I know I'm sounding really harsh, and some of you are like, I'm not getting rid of my kids if I'm going to watch it at home. But those things make me take it serious. And I want to hear it all, especially in the time we're in where we don't get these opportunities. So you just never, ever know what you could grab from that. And it's just really, really important. And the fact that your leader has that space for you guys, I would really utilize it, because I'm being mean to my girls that aren't going.
Hopefully my internet is working. That was all the questions that I have, but does anybody else have any questions that they want to ask Rachel? You can drop it in the chat, or you're welcome to unmute. While anybody's getting the guts to ask, I just appreciate you so much. And just thank you for being real, raw you. I remember seeing you for the first time. It had to have been in 2016, probably like on a call or something. And I just remember thinking, if this girl can do this, so can I. Like I remember, because when I started, like we were on food stamps and I was a single mom, and I remember that. And I just remember you giving that belief to me. And so I appreciate you so, so much. And you guys, like, if Rachel can do this, if I can do this, if Tamika can do this, if anybody can do this, you can do this too. Like we can all be up here together. There's space for everyone. So I appreciate you. And we definitely all appreciate you sharing Host to Post with the world, because you definitely didn't need to do that. And so thank you so much. Because, we've all signed a bajillion customers because of your fruits of your labor. So thank you so much. Do you have anything else that you want to leave us with before we hop off here? I don't see any other questions.
I would just say, first of all, we know that the event is this weekend, but then we know that after the event, there's a week left, right? So I would just say, whether you're going for a promotion or not, it's not too late to put it out there. And I'm just going to be confident in assuming that I'm right. With 70 people, there's at least one person on here that is boxed for their promotion and is, let's say, 50 small orders away, and you have not physically talked about it because you're scared and embarrassed of what might happen if you fall short. And so I wanted to say that one more time, that I put it out there February 1st that I was going press. I know Tamika's fighting for it. We do that as leaders. Does it always feel great to be like, I fell short? No, but it's part of the bigger plan that we're not always meant to understand. And so every single month since then, this is month 3, it's a 90-day run, and I freaking pray we get it done this month. Every single time I've just addressed it and I've kept talking about it. And what has that established? It's almost like you're creating a fan club of your audience, and they're like, I'm rooting for you. I want to help you. I have 2 people that bought every single month API orders on their account, and they're like, this is the month. Okay, my sister spent $300 last month and in February to help me. And I'm like, sis, just don't spend any more money, because we don't know when it's happening, and technically your orders are not helping. But I just put it out there. So you guys, if you're set up for a promotion, maybe you're like, that's not me, that doesn't apply to me. Well, maybe you have someone underneath you, you can fight for their goals. Let's say you have a girl under you going Ruby, that helps you. So then, like, if I weren't going for a promotion, I would put it on my wall and I would start branding it in the sense of, one of my girls is 15 15 small orders from getting a $300 raise or whatever we can say, I don't know. And it's going to do this for her family. Anything counts if you've been wanting to order. And so that's just what I do. And I've been starting to do. And let me tell you that last month when I was doing it, I had a time where I was saying, we're 900 small orders away, you guys. So I don't care about your little numbers of 50 and all these things that are scary. People are doing things that are harder and scarier. But the reason why this is so important is because at the very end, if let's say it's the 29th and you're like, I think I can do it. Okay, I'm just going to try. And then you put it out there, you've wasted this whole month and people don't care. If there's no emotions to it and you're going to say it on the last day, hey, I'm going diamond and I need 20 orders today. Anyone want to help me? People don't care. But if you build that up and you start talking about why and how many and keep counting that down and branding yourself with it, people want to help you. They do. So I would just say that's what I would leave you guys with is put it out there, brand yourself, talk about this event, talk about how close you are to your goal, and watch the crazy things happen, and you'll be blessed.
Yes, agreed. I've been like checking every month. Like, did she get her dream house? Did she get it? Like, I'm cheering you on from the sideline too. So I'm like, it's happening, it's happening. So I love that we can all cheer each other on, and it really does create the environment. So thank you so much. You guys drop your thank yous in the chat. If you have takeaways or anything like that, go ahead and tag Rachel on Instagram in your stories or anything like that. Shout her out. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate you and everything you do.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Bye. My mouse isn't working. I can't press leave or mute.
Oh my gosh, Joe, you're so funny. You guys, for reals, incredible. We've got 8 minutes left. I want to hear just from a couple of you, so I'm glad that your mouse didn't work, Kelly Jo. I didn't know if you were gonna do some takeaways or if you were ending the meeting. But what are you guys gonna implement? Who has it something so strong in their heart that they're gonna start implementing right away?
I'm going to be loud and proud on my page a little more than what I am because I'm kind of conservative with things. Maybe I should be a little louder.
For sure.
I am going to think about what my life was like before it works to stay motivated and find more reasons why I want to stay motivated and continue this business. Because she was right. There are ups and downs in this business, seasons and whatnot. And it does definitely get the best of some people because it's like, am I really good at this? Am I not? Like, there's many emotions with it all, especially if you're a yellow. I took 2 full pages worth of notes, so I have a lot of them. And being more open with my team, for one, because I know I'm not as open as I should be to be able to succeed more in this business.
Thank you, Caitlin.
I think that's what spoke to me is just being honest with your team and talking to them, like, and how she talked about like forcing promotions and then, you know, like just being open about that. Like, I know that I could do that and build up some of that trust that I feel like I had lost. Like, it doesn't have to be lost forever, you know, and people can believe in me and I can believe in myself. And so just doing that. And then also being loud about events. Like, I don't know how she talked about being mean to her girls. I don't know if I want to do that, but I can be like, you guys, like, let's take this seriously. Like, cause I think sometimes I'm just like, I don't know why you wouldn't. And I'm like mad in my brain about it. Like, why wouldn't you do that? But I don't say that to anybody. And so why not, you know, I obviously go about it in a nice way, but how can I pump people up and say, you've got to get on this and take it seriously and get to events. And like, this is the importance. So I definitely can be louder about that for sure.
I love that she shared that her as the leader and doing like, you know, I'm like, oh, a triples call, huh? Okay, you have that many triples. You get to have a triples call on Tuesday. I can't wait for that. But that they all get together and they're like, okay, we're going to figure out what works so that way we can give it to the team. And as leaders, are you willing to go through all of the no's that your team can win quicker? You know, are you willing to do that? And I read someone in the chat said, I don't like the no's. So the book I think you need to read is Go for No. But, you know, as a leader, are you willing to go through even more no's so that way you can help your team get a yes quicker, you know, and that was a really cool leadership insight, you know, and I feel like I do that. Like, I feel like I try to figure out what's working and then give it to you guys, but just to like know that, you know, this is an expectation that the leaders do this when they meet up, you know. I thought that was really cool.
I have one more thing I wanted to say. One thing that really got to me too is because when I'm talking to potential distributors and they just tell me like, I'm too busy for this, and I try to tell them like it can work for anybody. Like, I'm going to literally tell them like it works, can literally mold into anybody's life, like anybody's schedule. You just have to work with it. So that is one thing that I'm going to definitely start doing too.
And I love hearing other people's stories, because then you can combat objections better, you know, because the more people you know, and that's the power of the event too. Like, you guys are going to hear from so many people, so many different stories about where they started and where they are now and what they had to overcome. And it's just going to inspire you that when you hear a story that's similar, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a top leader in our company that was in your same exact place, and now she's here doing this. Like, I know that you can do this, you know, and it just helps you, like, the more stories that you know. And, you know, I have reached out to the leaders on our team and I've asked them, hey, I want you guys to find a top leader to interview. And like Kelly Jo's done it, Merlane's done it, Mandy's done it. And, you know, you guys who want to step up and be leaders, listen to the speakers on Saturday and find people that you jive well with. And like Kelly Jo had an opportunity to be on a marriage call with Rachel, you know, and Ashley Sinclair. Like, how special that she got to rub shoulders with these top leaders in something outside of It Works that would help her in her relationships, you know. And so this business can connect you with people that can help you in other aspects of your life. And so as you're listening this weekend, make sure you're taking a note of who the speakers are, you know, go find them on social. Don't add them as a friend, you know, but like write down their name. You can like scroll their page and just see how they post, see how they do things. And, you know, find some other leaders that are outside of our team that inspire you and, you know, that can help you grow in a different way that I'm unable to help with, you know. Anybody else have anything they want to share? All right, you guys. So we have one more call tomorrow. It is on this Zoom ID. It is no, it's not on this Zoom ID. It's on Tanis's Zoom ID because her Zoom ID holds 500. I'll post it in the pack page, but it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. And we are going to, once again, share stories, share tips that have helped us be successful, and share advice to help you guys get ready for spring training. This is open to every team. And so make sure you hop on early. There's 500 spots. But we really, more than anything, you guys, we know that events boom your business. And so we're trying to do everything in our power to really help set you up for success. So Kelly Jo, this was the perfect call tonight, but ultimately it's up to you. It's up to you to figure out like how to get your fire going again. It's up to you to figure out what you need to do on a daily basis, and just keep showing up and just keep doing the things. And it, you know, your fruit will come when you continue to be consistent and have that faith. And, you know, you just never know when. And so consistency is key. So I hope to see you guys all on that tomorrow. We've got a power hour happening in 1 minute. Sorry, Kelly Jo, it's hers though. So, and this is her Zoom, so she'll just end it and then start it back up. No, it's not.
This is your Zoom.
Oh, this is my Zoom. Okay, I'm gonna go. But thank you guys for being here.
Thank you guys for being on.
Okay, and I'm gonna upload this to my YouTube channel, so anyone who missed it will be able to send them the recording. Just tell them not to watch the last 2 minutes. Okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.